Hello, welcome to Statecraft IAS and Social Perspectives Sociology in Newspaper series. In this series, we shall discuss daily news articles in sociological perspective and revise relevant sociology related UPSC mains concepts with the help of a newspaper on daily basis. In today's video, we have an article talking about the capital punishment for culprits of rape and murder. See, Kejriwal, Delhi CM Kejriwal seeking capital punishment for culprits. This kind of request or this kind of demands is not new in our society, and whenever any rape and murder happens in the society, everybody comes out and urges for capital punishment for culprits. They think only capital punishment alone will stop such kind of things, but does really capital punishment have that potential? Does it really stop the culprits from doing so, or raping or murdering people or girls? The answer lies no, because we have Talcott Parsons saying fear of punishment alone will not always act as deterrence. Moral commitment is required, because Talcott Parsons has extensively studied about patterns of behavior of individuals, and he believes that not just external or outside pressure, that is value orientation, but also motivational orientation that is required for individual to do any social action. Hence, even if value orientation is set right, that means even if capital punishment is is decided for the culprits of rape and murder, these rapes will not stop, because if we see the examples also, all the Scandinavian countries where the instances of molestation or rape are very low, what they have done is they have ensured that whatever punishment they give, that punishment is speedy in nature. And in most of the European countries wherein instances of rape are low, the decision or the conviction comes within 15 days of the incident. See, this kind of speedy justice, though the justice done or though the punishment is given just for 1 month of imprisonment or 10 days of imprisonment, 1 month of imprisonment is enough, but even that punishment must come within a very short period of time. That means speedy justice must be ensured. If that is ensured, this can be stopped, because even if we give capital punishment, when our courts are delaying the process, when our police stations or when our police are not recording the incident properly, when the process is being dragged on for years and for whole lifetime in many cases, then whatever the punishment you may give, it will not act as deterrence. For moral commitment to enforce upon the individual, the punishment must be quick and not necessarily alarming. Because this alarming kind of punishments and these revolutionary or inflictory nature of punishments are seen in ancient societies or primitive societies where the solidarity is mechanical in nature. In mechanical solidarity societies, this kind of inflictionary or repressive punishments are seen. We are living in organic society because our division of labor division of labor exists in society. We have differences and we depend upon each other in the society. So we are living in an organic society, and in organic society we are supposed to have status quo or restitutive kind of punishments. Restitutive laws we are supposed to have. That means our laws must try to restore status quo. For that to happen, inflictionary or repressive punishments are not needed. Just speedy justice or ensuring speedy justice or ensuring compromise between two individuals, any kind of justice, if it is speedy, then that's enough. That must come with in our system, and then moral commitment can be ensured, as Talcott Parsons has said. This mechanical and organic solidarity, who has discussed, is Durkheim. He opines that solutions may not be revolutionary. Solutions are not necessarily revolutionary. In many instances, systemic solutions within the system, systemic solutions can serve the purpose. While criticizing Karl Marx, Durkheim has said so, because Karl Marx believes that revolution is the solution for every social conflict. While criticizing him, Durkheim says revolution is not the solution necessarily. There are, in many instances, there are many systemic solutions, and that systemic solution is nothing but ensuring law and order, rule of law, speedy justice, etc., improving infrastructure. See, because if you see in the contents of the article, it says there is a need to improve the law and order situation in the national capital. Yes, obviously. For that, the police made the family wait at the station for several hours and were reluctant to file an FIR for rape and murder. This is one kind of problem. This is the reason why our cases are being dragged and many cases are not being reported in the country. And this is an institutional problem, and this needs institutional solution. Moreover, they put pressure on them to compromise. But only when Congress workers strongly took up the case that they filed a strong FIR. Here in the other article regarding same incident, we can see victim's mother saying, the priest told me that I should not call the police because police matters go on for longer periods. See, this has been the belief in the society that police processes or police matters go on for longer periods, and this is one of the institutional problems. And if that institutional problem is set right, then that itself will act as a deterrence for the culprits. The deterrents will come to know that they will come to book under sections of the law very quickly, and that itself will deter the individuals to go to raise against the bar and to do something unlawful in society. Fear of punishment will not always act as deterrence, and moral commitment is required, as Talcott Passon has rightly said. For that moral commitment, quick and speedy justice is required. Now, moving on to the next article. Here in this article, the authors talk about horizontal quota in the Bihar. Though this article goes extensively saying about the Bihar example, what kind of participation is there in that state and what levels of inclusion they have reached now, we need not to go into the detailed contents of the article. If you see headlines, the case for reservation for women and transgender person in state jobs and higher education. See, vertical reservation is nothing but out of 100 reserving some 50 or 40 or 50 to various classes or various castes. Now horizontal reservation is nothing but out of this 50 or 40 50, some 33% or 30% is reserved for women and transgenders. That means this 30, 50, 40, 30% is not over and above this 40, 50%. It is within this 40, 50%. So it is not breaching Indira Sahni's judgment that reservations should not go above 40, 50. Now, apart from the social perspective in this article, we have an important observation to be observed, which becomes beneficial in our answer writing. Now, this article says India's female labor force participation rate is consistently declining and is worryingly low. World Bank data show that the female labor force participation came down to 21% in 2019 from 31.79% in 2005. Now, this kind of paragraphs are very apt for our intros in our answers. This, if we write this kind of paragraphs, the examiner will immediately come to know that we have understood the demand of the question and we are very thorough about the situation in the country. Now, to connect that intro with the demand of the question, let question may be anything. If it is regarding female labor force participation or women empowerment, etc., we can write this intro as it suits the purpose. And while going into the details of the answer, if we write some connecting statement like this, that is Article 15 Clause 3 of the Constitution allows governments to make special provisions for women and children. Now, this also lets examiner to know that we are thorough of the constitutional provisions also, and we know that state is within its powers to give such reservations to the people or to the women. And after that, if we write our detailed arguments in the answer, then the answer will be organic and systematic in nature. Some definite kind of flow can be ensured in the answers. Now, coming to our sociology discussion, here it says the female labor force participation rate needs to be treated cautiously, though, as it doesn't take into account unpaid work majorly performed by women or the role played by social barriers like caste in blocking employment opportunities for women, like owning a shop. See here, caste is acting as a major hindrance for vertical mobility for women. Transfer vertical mobility. This vertical mobility concept, where do we get? In the status and mobility chapter. So, moving on, patriarchal control of women and systemic gender discrimination cannot be defeated by government intervention alone. See, we have already discussed the same. Government intervention have their limitations. They cannot be understood as outright solutions for every problem. To reach to the complete solution, we have some motivation by the society also. Society also needs to come forward and participate towards development or empowerment or progress. For that, society must understand that they have some benefit if they allow women or women or transgenders to work outside their home. That benefit they will come to understand with awareness or with proof of data. If any one girl among their families has studied well and is going out and has reached certain respectable heights in the society, then every other member in that relative group also will understand that girls' education is very important, and they too will try to educate their child. That proof among the peer groups is required. Awareness is required, and social barriers and social evils must be removed from the path of development. If these kind of things are taken care, then more participation can be ensured in the society. So, for vertical mobility to be ensured, not just institutional measures, but institutions themselves, that means social structure, family is one of the social institutions. This family, this kind of things must be free of prejudices and must be open-minded. Hence, these must be tweaked and these must be reformed to ensure social justice in the society. So that's all we have for today. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to Statecraft IAS. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or criticisms, please comment and let me know in the comment section. Have a nice day.